Welcome to this week's Cattle Call. I'm Susan Littlefield. We took a week off. As you well know, Brad was out of town. I was at the Nebraska State Fair. So we are back at it this week. And unfortunately, during that time we were away, the markets definitely took a turn. And we're going to talk about this turn within the trade, what we're seeing, and what does this mean? You look at the different levels. Do we have too many cattle? Is it capital cap? I can't even talk today, Brad. Captive supply cattle, what is going on? And are we close to getting some sort of recovery in this market? So as you can see, as I introduced him, Brad Kooima joins us. He's with Kooima and Varlick out of Sioux Center, Iowa. So I think in a nutshell, you and I should just not go anywhere when it comes to this cattle market.
A great lead in. You're not the first to have said that, actually, when I got back. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like historically for me, notoriously, it's when I leave for a few days, there's something wild happens. I couldn't. I'm supposed to be the mature. I've seen this before guy, right? But I can't help but be a little bit empathetic to someone that might not understand exactly just what hit you here. We were gone for a week. Went out to Jackson Hole, had a really nice time, and come back, and so I'm catching up with mail and stuff like that, and opening a check that I'd gotten yesterday from cattle that I'd sold the week before. When I was still here 2 weeks ago, those cattle were sold for 130 picked up, and I'm looking around going like, what happened? I couldn't get 125 today. So clearly, did the supply of cattle change in 6 days? Of course not. I think that a couple of things are working here. I'm a futures broker, so there's things that are unique to the futures market that, whether you like it or not, at times have very little or nothing to do with the daily cash market or the daily cash fundamentals. And I think what happened here, at least from a futures angle, and I would like to talk about a little bit about the cash fundamental angle too, but from a futures standpoint, we had the breakout 2 weeks ago, where we finally broke out. December cattle got above 134. We hammered and hammered and hammered in that level until we finally took it out. Got up, had a nice big spike rally, had a huge increase in the open interest. So you had the funds come after the market and the long speculator. And here's a breakout that the market participants have been waiting, Susan, for a long, long time. Ever since the 2015 debacle, and then on top of that, the back-to-back to now back-to-back years of female liquidation, cow slaughter, and the heifers having to go on feed because of drought. Okay, so you can see how the market. I mean, if you're a fundamentalist, you're waiting for just this very sign, right? And so I think you saw a speculative crowd that came after the market with a vengeance, and then sometimes like a piece of fireworks, as quick as we shone brightly, we burnt out, and the lack of follow through on that rally 2 weeks ago is what's causing the problem right now, in my opinion. So you're seeing the same people that bought it then are selling it now. Now I think we're a long ways toward the end of that, but nobody likes to hear me talk about, well, it's market participants that are creating volatility and direction, but unfortunately that is the case sometimes.
Captive supply and everything that filters into the way these cattle trade, what's kind of filtering its way to the top and some of the issues you're seeing?
Well, thank you. I'll have plenty of people that'll tell me, well, Brad, there's just too many cattle. Come on. And my suggestion to that and answer to that, Susan, would be what you asked about. In my view, there's too many captive cattle. If we had an industry that had a larger cash trade, in my view, then you would be able to leverage the packer just a little bit, when he's making $1,100 a head, or I don't know what he's making. It's a ton. Box beef is still $3.35. Choice select spread still well over $30. Demand is still tremendous. Don't kid yourself. So that's a problem. Now, overall, we're killing quite a few cattle. Are the packers having trouble getting people to work? Now, on that topic, I would hope that this week's going to be better. See, that seemed like to me last week, the whole combination of a short kill. They gave a lot of those places gave those people Saturday off so they could have a long weekend. So we had a crappy kill, right? So, but now this week we should, spin into something more normal, catch up on that this Saturday, and then go at it because they're going to make a lot of money again. The Packer is. So I would like to think that as we finally hit the sunset on this extra unemployment benefits, I am told that the combination of that and with school starting, that they are getting a little more reliable labor force coming back. They are getting a little more efficient. I don't think there is a plant out there that's running at hardly 90% efficiency. And for the sake of moving the supply of cattle through the chain, it'd be nice to get that a little bit better. But I think that will start to improve here now with time.
Well, it's nice to know that we might be seeing this dip take care of itself and come back, and with it, hopefully bring some higher cash prices.
I continue to have a long view of being optimistic because I think you're going to go into less cattle into the fourth quarter. And you still have continued great demand, both globally and domestically. So, we got to work through this little glitch here. And I do think that one thing that is helpful, the North is going into a few more cattle, as we always do in September and October. But I believe we're going into this next time frame more current than we have since 2015. Speaking from my contacts and even my own experience, and a brother that sells fat cattle, you're selling a lot of cattle in the 14s this year. 14 and a quarter half, 14.75, and now around here we'd be almost always selling those cattle in the mid 15s already by this time of year. Just what we do. It's a good calf, raised by great people. It's got great genetics, and they get that big real easy, right? The cost of gain has kept some of this extra weight off. So it's been a tough 11 consecutive down days. I mean, come on, stochastics are at 3. Anything below 20 is oversold. So let's hope that this thing's about there. And I think this, maybe we got a little ahead of ourselves, too much premium to the cash earlier, but now I think we've gotten ourselves a little bit overdone to the downside.
All right, lots to look at, Brad. And of course, we'll hope for a week that'll finish out with a positive. Thanks for joining us.
You got it.
That's this week's Cattle Call. Just a reminder, commodity futures and options do involve substantial risk of loss, and they're not suitable to all investors. That is, like I mentioned, the Cattle Call. I'm Susan Littlefield.